Today, our topic is Epictetus on what you can and can't control. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes it feels like everything is out of our hands. But the ancient Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, taught us a powerful lesson. The key to living a good life is understanding what we can control and what we cannot. This idea is simple, but it can change the way we see the world and how we deal with problems. Let's explore this idea and see how it can help us live better, happier lives. First, let's talk about what we cannot control. According to Epictetus, many things in life are outside our power. For example, we cannot control the weather. If it rains on a day we plan to have a picnic, we can't change that. We also cannot control other people's thoughts, actions, or opinions. If someone is rude to us, we can't force them to be kind. We cannot control the past or the future. What has already happened is done, and what will happen is uncertain. Even our own bodies to some extent are not fully under our control. We might get sick or grow old, and these are things we cannot stop. Epictetus tells us that trying to control what we cannot control is a waste of time and energy. It will only lead to frustration and unhappiness. Now, let's talk about what we can control. Epictetus says that the only thing truly under our control is our mind or thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes. We can choose how we react to situations even if we cannot change the situations themselves. For example, if someone insults us, we can't control their words. But we can control how we respond. We can choose to stay calm and not let their words hurt us. We can also control our own actions. We can decide to be kind, honest, and hardworking, no matter what happens around us. This is where our power lies. By focusing on what we can control, we can live with peace and dignity, even in difficult times. Epictetus uses a simple metaphor to explain this idea. Imagine you are on a ship sailing across the sea. You cannot control the wind or the waves. If a storm comes, you can stop it, but you can control how you steer the ship. You can adjust the sails and hold the rudder steady. In the same way, life is like a journey, and we cannot control everything that happens to us. But we can control how we respond. We can choose to face challenges with courage and wisdom. This is the essence of Stoic philosophy. Focus on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot. Now, let's think about how this idea applies to our daily lives. Suppose you are worried about what other people think of you. Maybe you feel pressure to fit in or to meet someone else's expectations. Epictetus would say that this is a waste of energy. You cannot control other people's opinions, and trying to please everyone will only make you unhappy. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself. Be honest, kind, and true to your values. That is something you can control, and it will bring you more peace and satisfaction than worrying about what others think. Another example is failure. Everyone experiences failure at some point. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, or you failed a test, or a relationship ended. These things can be painful, but Epictetus reminds us that we cannot control the outcome of every situation. What we can control is how we respond to failure. We can choose to learn from our mistakes and keep trying. We can choose to see failure as an opportunity to grow, rather than as a defeat. This shift in mindset can make a huge difference in how we experience life. Epictetus also teaches us to accept what we cannot change. This doesn't mean we should give up or stop trying. It means we should recognize the limits of our power and focus our energy on what we can do. For example, if you lose a loved one, you cannot bring them back. But you can choose how to honor their memory and how to move forward with your life. Acceptance is not about giving up. It's about finding peace in the face of things we cannot change. One of the most important lessons from Epictetus is that we should not attach our happiness to things outside our control. Many people believe that they will be happy if they have more money, a better job, or a perfect relationship. But these things are not guaranteed, and they can be taken away at any moment. If we base our happiness on external things, we will always be at the mercy of chance. Instead, Epictetus says, we should find happiness within ourselves. We should focus on developing our character, our virtues, and our inner strength. These are things no one can take away from us, and they will bring us lasting peace and contentment. Let's look at another example. Imagine you are stuck in traffic. You might feel frustrated and angry because you are late for an important meeting. But Epictetus would ask, can you control the traffic? No. Well, can you control the fact that you are late? No. What you can control is how you react to the situation. Instead of getting angry, you can use the time to relax, listen to music, or think about something positive. By changing your attitude, you can turn a frustrating situation into a peaceful one. This is the power of focusing on what you can control. Epictetus also reminds us to be grateful for what we have. It's easy to focus on what we lack or what we have lost, but this only leads to dissatisfaction. Instead, we should appreciate the good things in our lives, even if they are small. For example, if you have a roof over your head, food to eat, and people who care about you, you are already blessed. Gratitude helps us focus on what we have, rather than what we don't have, and it brings us closer to contentment. Another important lesson from Epictetus is that we should not fear change or uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and things can change in an instant. But instead of fearing the unknown, we should embrace it. Change is a natural part of life, and it often brings new opportunities. By accepting change and adapting to it, we can live more freely and fully. Finally, Epictetus teaches us to live in the present moment. Many people spend their lives worrying about the future or regretting the past. But the past is gone, and the future is not yet here. The only moment we truly have is the present. By focusing on the here and now, we can live more fully and appreciate the beauty of life as it happens. This doesn't mean we should ignore the future or forget the past. It means we should not let them control our emotions or our actions. We should use the past as a teacher and the future as a guide, but we should live in the present. In conclusion, Epictetus' teachings on what we can and cannot control are incredibly powerful. They remind us to focus on what truly matters to our thoughts, our actions, and our attitudes. By letting go of what we cannot control and embracing what we can live with greater peace, happiness, and freedom. Life will always have challenges, but with the wisdom of Epictetus we can face them with courage and grace. So, the next time you feel overwhelmed or frustrated, remember, focus on what you can control, and let go of what you cannot. This simple but profound idea can transform your life.